global ecumenical organizations, the Council for World Mission, and the WCRC are actually headed by two women. Najla is the president of the WCRC, and myself, Livia, am the moderator of the CWM. And so we decided to come together and bring together other women in leadership to a roundtable that is co-sponsored by our two organizations so that we can come together to minister to one another as well as to strategically discuss ways in which we can do our work in our different contexts.
We chose the theme, Women in Leadership, a journey of honoring, lamenting, and rejoicing. Because this time of inviting women leaders from the Reformed family together to talk, discern together, and we thought the starting point is an honoring experience, honoring these women who are in a position of leadership, and many of them are for the first time introducing women leadership in that. So we thought honoring them is an important part of our coming together. Still, with this importance of this experience, we cannot forget the pain that many of these women face, especially in the transitional time of leadership between men and women, how men understand leadership and how women understand. This is why we'll be speaking also about lamenting the pain that's still there.
I really see that this is a gathering that will produce a different kind of ideology where leaders who are women, they will begin to understand how we can strengthen, enrich each other, so that when we get back to the church, we will focus more on the leadership role, the task, rather than our gender. And I'm really hopeful that we will have this conversation around this area where we will have begin with the lamenting, honoring, those who have gone before us, and what are the legacy they have left behind us for us to learn. And of course, we will end with a hopeful note, celebrating each other as we meet at this round table.
I think it can be quite isolating being a woman in the church or the ecumenical movement. Like, there's a lot of barriers and also a lot of hidden or issues that aren't talked about or aren't raised. And I think a lot of the time it can be overwhelming being a woman in the church with the multitude of intersectionalities, the multitude of issues and things we face. It just feels like there's just a need for a space for us to rejuvenate, replenish, recover, and also reconnect with one another and find a way to support each other, listen to one another, learn from one another, inspire the next generation, and kind of build a sisterhood. So we can start to kind of strengthen ourselves and then begin to really affect and really kind of change and put our mark on the ecumenical movement, not as just individuals as women, but as a collective of female voices.
Women and men need to operate in contexts where they can utilize their God-given talents fully. This roundtable will seek to enrich women in the advancement for more female leaders, more women leaders. And that's what we want. We believe that that is what God desires. And we're hoping that this roundtable will enable churches to look at those systems and those policies that they have, those structures that are life-denying because they promote gender injustice. And we want to advocate for change. That's what we're hoping will be the hope for churches out of this roundtable. We're hoping that women in and emerging in leadership will come away from the roundtable rejuvenated and enriched by shared stories of hope and be empowered to challenge the systems that discriminate against women. If we do not take action now, then there will be no change for our daughters, no change for our granddaughters. And that is what we want. We want change. So we're hoping that those women who come will come away feeling refreshed and ready to take action.
I think there's a lot of hope in that the World Communion of Reformed Churches and the Council for World Mission have dedicated this to women, that they can see it's really important and that they see there's a need for women to fill these positions. And I think what also this meeting hopefully will do, and what gives me hope, is it's not just kind of taking the positions for granted, but we're trying to interrogate what actually being in leadership as a woman means.
We're very excited about the Women in Leadership Roundtable because both our organizations preach communing together, partnering, fellowshipping, and working together. And now we are practicing what we preach by coming together to actually do all those things as women in leadership. We are also excited because as women, we want to preach a message of collaboration, not competition. Because where we come from, it doesn't matter what parts of the world we global leaders come from. We come from situations where there is much competition in the work. And so we want to promote a spirit of collaboration instead of competition.
We are so happy that we will have this opportunity. First, of the cooperation between the CWM and WCRC, cooperation between two women, and cooperation between two women from the South with all the community from our Reformed churches. We hope this will be a time of strength, of envisioning, of sharing, and of looking forward for a better tomorrow.